Principles of Management students. This week is week 11, 11 of 12. So we are nearing the end of the term, and there are a couple things. This is the last week that there'll be new material. I did shorten the week a little bit from what the syllabus says. We were doing originally 15 and 16. We are now doing just 15. On teams from your text, from your Principles of Management text. So hopefully you are keeping up with the homework. I'm trying to, and I think most of the homework is up to date per week 10, per week 9 at least. Hopefully through week 10. I will, as you turn in week 11, I will make sure that I get that up and running. So this week there is the PowerPoint. I have a short video called Trusting Teams. And it goes into detail a little bit about the process of team building and managing teams and the stages of teams that teams go through when they're making decisions. So this chapter 15, from a management standpoint, what is the benefit of working in teams, and what makes teams effective versus ineffective, and what are some of the characteristics that we see emerging as teams develop over time, and what are some of the key considerations when you manage teams, what are the good and the bad, right? And what are some of the best practices, what are the benefits of conflict within a team, right? How does that spur new ideas? How does team diversity enhance decision making and problem solving? So thus, if you had a team of homogeneous individuals, what might happen is that everybody would be agreeable, and you might not get to the full potential of a solution or the full potential of a project. When you have differing viewpoints, what happens is it often can spur other viewpoints in individuals that had a certain perspective, right? It can help individuals change perspectives and come up with ideas maybe that they didn't think they had in them, right? Helps empower other, and then you can help empower each other to basically reach new heights when there is diverse viewpoints. And what are some challenges and best practices for managing and working with multicultural teams? So there's a few things laid out in this chapter, kind of summing up the idea of, if you are managing, generally you're not just going to be managing individuals, but you will be managing collectives, teams of more than, say, two or more individuals, and how might, either their differing viewpoints or their similar viewpoints either help or detract from their team, right? You might have to, if you put the teams together, you may want to look for, if you're the one in charge of that, look for diversity within those teams, right? So you get those different viewpoints. And then how might you facilitate, when there is conflict within a team, how might you facilitate that as a manager to have it lead to a positive outcome? All right, so when we're talking about managing teams, that's chapter 15. There are a few questions for 15. So this is the actual last chapter we're going to be doing out of the text. The review questions are listed. And so this will be your last homework assignment. I do not have a discussion this week, which is okay, right? You have a lot going on with developing your PowerPoint for next week and getting ready for the exam, and catching up on any homework that you might be behind on. So there are 6 questions. What are the 5 elements that make up a team? Why are the elements necessary? Describe a potential problem for a team when one aspect or another is not present. Explain the life cycle of a team using Tuckman's stages, and discuss several conflicting dynamics. This is the norming and forming, storming, norming, and performing, the life cycle. Review questions. Then there are 4 more review questions. Discuss several conflicting dynamics that a manager has to balance when leading a team. Explain what comes out of conflict. What have some researchers found that show the benefits of team diversity? And what are some ways people can increase their cultural intelligence? Next week, I will post an exam like Wednesday. I'll post the exam and it will be due the following Monday. And I will go into what the exam is about, talk to you about your final project. Again, remember, you're going to pick a chapter from the text and do a PowerPoint 7 to 10 slides and summarize that chapter in that PowerPoint. So you're practicing your PowerPoint, and then you are going to email that to me as your final project. If you have any questions, always reach out to me. crobertson@ec3pa.org or via email, via text, 814-490-6473. Have a wonderful Memorial Day if I don't see you on campus or speak to you and directly, and we'll see you back here next week.